by PH.
So, yun po. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Ayan. At meron na naman po tayong mga bagong videong pag-uusapan o reaksyonan. Ngayon po ay pakinggan po natin ang mga aguman sa Senado, no? Ito'y patungkol sa mga kontraktor at ang DPWH, no? Sa mga anomalyang nangyayari sa mga ghost project. So pinangunahan po nito ni Senator Pampilo Lacson at tapos si Senator Tito Soto at si Jinggoy Estrada. Yan. So ito po ay patungkol po sa PCAB issue sa flood control projects. Bali Senate hearing din po ito, no? Yan. Ito po ay naganap sa pagdinig sa Senado kahapon. Tinalakay ni Senator Ping Lacson ang mga issue kaugnay ng sa mga papel ng Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board. Yan po ang PCAB, no? Sa mga tungkol sa mga flood controls project ng mga contractor at DPWH. So ito mga tanong po, no? Ano ang tunay na kalagayan ng mga proyekto? Yan. So, ano ang sinabi ng mga senador tungkol sa PCAB at mga kontraktor? Yan. So, yun po, no? So, samahan nyo po kami sa mas malalim na talakayan tungkol sa transparency, accountability, at kung paano maiwasan ang corruption, no? Sa malaking infrastruktura. So, ganun po, no? Ngayon po, yun lahat po ng subscriber natin. Maraming salamat po. So, huwag nyo pong kalimutang i-like, share, at subscribe para sa iba pang mga balita at update sa politika, no? So, panoorin po natin ang video to. Sandali lang naman po ito, siguro mga 20 minutes, no?
The Alpha and Omega construction and the St. Timothy constructions were included in the top 15 flood control contractor list from President Bongbong Marcos on during his press conference. And if I'm not mistaken, you also mentioned something to that effect in your privilege speech. Now, on the Securities and Exchange Commission papers, iba-iba po ang owners ng composition of the company. But in actuality, alam ng lahat na iisa lang ang may-ari nito. Same owner of the once blacklisted St. Gerard Construction. Now, they will deny this fact until they can. However, in one of the tax cases filed against them on 2022 before the Court of Tax Appeals, CTA case number 10472. To be exact, the same and one address lang ang ginagamit for St. Timothy, St. Matthew, St. Gerard, and Alpha and Omega Construction Corporations. Also, the majority stockholder of St. Timothy, who owns 85% of the company, named Miguel Juntura, was the marketing director of St. Gerard. The question, Mr. President, billions of government projects concentrated and monopolized by a few. Mr. President, paano nila itong nailulusot? Who monitors this kind of circumvention?
We have an agency, Mr. President. It is called the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, or PCAB, which is the implementing board of the CIAP, a construction industry authority of the Philippines. Incidentally, this authority is under the DTI. Pero it seems na medyo nahaluan na rin yata ng konting, o hindi lang konti, ng katiwalian pagdating sa mga flood control projects, because information keep coming in sa aming opisina na itong pickup nagre-resort na sa accreditation for sale. No? May mga ganyang reports, and I've talked to some contractors, private contractors, na they had this experience of being offered accreditation by pickup, na sila na yung bahala sa bank certificate and other requirements, for a fee of, I think, 2 million pesos, for a start. So ganito na po kasama talaga yung kalakaran sa ating bureaucracy. And I think in the second hearing of the Blue Ribbon Committee, because I believe, as we have monitored, na during the first hearing, guess po ninyo yung resource person nyo yung pickup. And there's some issues that they could not explain during the hearing. And I think we can take this up again with them, your observation in relation to St. Timothy and Alpha and Omega. Incidentally, Mr. President, Alpha Omega was mentioned by the Pride of Congress, who incidentally is the produced seed of our distinguished colleague, Senator Loren Legarda. Sabi ko nga, move over, Senator Legarda, there's a new kid on the block. And to her credit, she produced a seed named Leandro Legarda Leviste. Nabanggit po niya itong Alpha Omega.
So, putulin muna natin, no? Ito pong si Representative Leviste. Ito po yung anak ni Senador Loren Legarda na involved po sa suhol siya, so siya po ay baka tatayo po siyang bilang testigo laban sa mga kontraktor, no? Kasi marami po siyang nalaman dun sa isang nagsusuhol po sa kanya ng 3 million para lang huwag mag-imbestiga sa mga flood control sa Balayan, Batangas, no? So ngayon po parang gusto pong mag-testify din po sa baka sa Blue Ribbon Committee sa susunod pong hearing, no? So kaya po wag niyo pong kaligtaan panoorin ng mga lagi nating tungkol ito sa mga flood control projects na mga ghost projects o mga anomalya, no? Ito po, ituloy na natin.
Na one of the 3 contractors, na involved, na may resibo pa, ang sabi niya. I heard his interview sa radio, TV, and he identified Alpha and Omega ba ito?
Yes.
Alpha and Omega Construction Corporation as one of the 3 bribe givers given through the district engineer of Batangas, First Engineering District, si Abelardo Calalo. And I think we should not stop at filing the information or filing the case with the prosecutor's office of Batangas. I think we should dig deeper into this case. Congressman Leviste offered him to be a state witness, and I think the Department of Justice can pursue this, if only to identify and to catch the bigger fish. Kasi lumalabas ngayon, as I mentioned in my privilege speech, naging bagmen na lang, naging legmen yung mga district engineers. No? Sila na lang yung taga-takbo ng mga contractors, and who knows, maybe even the funders who are the sponsors or proponents of insertions in the GAA.
Well, thank you for that, Mr. President. May I know how the Philippine Contractors Board is formed? Ano ba ito? Paano nabubuo itong board na to? Who appoints the members? Who elect the members?
Let me look into that, Mr. President. But I think that's a good question to be raised in the second hearing of the Blue Ribbon Committee, led by our distinguished colleague, Senator Marcoleta. No? I-take note natin, Mr. President, so we can
Yes.
ask this question.
That's good. Thank you very much. Now, speaking of government officials, to determine the involvement of government officials or intertwined ownership with those who have been blacklisted or those who have tax evasion cases. Do you think we should also try to dig deeper during the evaluation of project contractors, such as going into the layers of their ownership? Hindi po ba dapat ganun ang gawin?
Certainly, Mr. President, we should look into that. Yung interlocking directorship ang tawag doon, na kung saan nile-layer, pero pag tiningnan mo yung corporation documents ng several corporations, nag-i-interlock yung mga director, sila-sila rin. No? And of course, nile-layer para hindi ma-identify. And this is a practice being committed by, mga unscrupulous corporations that deal with the government, particularly mga flood control projects.
Yeah, Mr. President, your guess is as good as mine also. Hindi ko nga alam kung paano nabubuo itong Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board. Kasi in 2023, the Bulacan River Project amounted to 96.4 million was deemed completed. However, upon the ocular inspection of the President, stated that more than 200 meters of revetment was not built. And the contractor is St. Timothy Construction Corporation. O sila na naman yun. So after this anomaly, the PICAB, o yung Philippine Contractors Board, the PICAB license of St. Timothy was renewed from 2025 to 2027, allowing them to again participate in other massive government projects. How is this? How can this happen, Mr. President, Your Honor?
Most likely, Mr. President, ghost project po ito. Yung minention nyo na 96 million na peso flood control project. Ang nangyayari po kasi, Mr. President, as I also mentioned in my privilege speech, minsan yung lisensya ng contractor, hinihiram na lamang ng District Engineering Office. At sila na nag-implement. And the district engineer is the one, upon receipt of the what we call project designation order. So mag-organize na siya, he will appoint the project engineer, PE. And he will also appoint yung inspector unit, yung mag-i-inspect. And even if hindi makumpleto yung project kasi nga ghost, mag-i-issue na rin sila ng tinatawag na Statement of Works Accomplishment. Puro papel po ang tumatakbo, ang umaandar without the project being completed. And I think there's a failure in the monitoring system of the Department of Public Works and Highways in the central office. Kasi meron silang monitoring office under a USEC in the department. Ito yung nagmo-monitor ng progress ng lahat ng mga projects, not only flood control projects, but all kinds of infra projects under the auspices or supervision of the Department of Public Works and Highways. So I don't know how high up yung syndicate, but it seems that the DPWH has become a playground of syndicates. Kasi nung sinabi nga ni Secretary Bonoan, na isolated case ang first engineering district ng Bulacan, I did not believe him, Mr. President. Kasi mismong ang presidente, pag nag-iikot sa iba't ibang lugar, may nakikitang ghost projects. I myself, my team, was able to validate this in Nauhan, in Sitio Dike, Barangay Apitong. And I was listening to this interview by Secretary Bonoan. Sabi niya, miscommunication lang daw with the barangay chairman na sinasabing yung project na sinasabing ghost project, ibang lugar daw. Well, ang sinabi niya, barangay Dike. Barangay, hindi raw sa barangay Apitong. Sitio Dike, Mr. President, is in barangay Apitong. And our basis for locating that particular ghost project declared as completed pero walang project na nangyari, pinabalidate lang namin do sa barangay chairman and some residents na talagang wala silang nasaksihan na construction ng flood control projects in that area. Kasi isang sitio lang naman to, Mr. President. Ang sinasabi niya, miscommunication, mali raw yung aming team, which I cannot accept, Mr. President, because, I have this habit of validating, counter-checking, validating again before I open my mouth, especially in a privileged speech, because I know I will be fact-checked. And it really happened because andyan na yung media, nagpunta na doon sa mga binanggit kong ghost projects, and they were really fact-checking kung talagang ghost projects. And here comes the DPWH Secretary, no less, even accusing us or insinuating at least na mali kami and mali rin daw yung media. So how could the Bulacan 1st District Engineering Office be an isolated case kung laganap na yung kaso? And man you, Mr. President, yung ginawa namin, in-undertake lang namin mga case studies because I already anticipated that line na hindi isolated case yan. Actually, we were ready to deliver, I was ready to deliver my privilege speech after Nauhan or after Oriental Mindoro. Sufficient na po yung mga case studies doon. But I told my staff, let's wait a while kasi sasabihin tiyak yan, isolated case yung Oriental Mindoro. Let's go to other places. And luckily for us, Mr. President, the President launched 1 week after his SONA, he launched the Sumbong sa Pangulo .ph website. And it was very helpful actually. And it continues to help our netizens, the media, and other people concerned with the anomalous flood control projects. Ang laking tulong po sa amin because exact location, the website provided us with the exact grid coordinates. Kaya nga pati yung multo, pati yung guni-guni, nakita namin eh. Imagine, wala ka makikitang project pero natukoy pa rin ng aking team or teams kung saan nakalocate yung ghost projects. Why? Because of the Sumbong sa Pangulo website. Hindi makakaila, Mr. President. That's the reason why we were able to locate several ghost projects, mostly in Bulacan. Kasi as I also mentioned in my privilege speech, yung Bulacan 1st District Engineering Office, yun ang pinaka-notorious in at least from where I sit, Mr. President.
Ginoong Pangulo, Mr. President, ngunit kung completed na yung project, pag sinabing deemed completed, nabayaran na to.
Babayaran, Mr. President.
Babayaran o nabayaran na?
Nabayaran.
And there are several signatories like for a project inspection, it has to be declared complete para ma-release yung payment. Pipirma dyan yung inspectorate team, yung assistant district engineer, and the district engineer. At kung sino-sino pa. Paano pong nakakalusot yan? Di alam nila lahat.
Well, they should be held accountable and criminally liable, Mr. President. No, if not
Correct.
administratively, criminally. Kasi kung hindi negligence ito, may criminal may violation sa batas, Mr. President. Kasi why would you certify on something na hindi naman totoo? No? And that's the reason why kasi naabuso na in the course of time, Mr. President, hindi na nagkasya do sa tinatawag kong pie sharing. Nagtipid pa, nagmenos pa, ginos project na, minaximize na. Kaya nga sabi ko, hindi na flood control ang hinahanap ng Pilipino, grid control. Kasi nasobra na yung grid na sinagasaan ng lahat. Wala na. Hubris, yung tawag natin doon, Mr. President, hubris. Kasi nahirate, and we also encountered cases or case studies wherein nag-ghost na, pinus pa yung lock harder, ginos pa ulit for the succeeding year. Kasi pagka nag-ghost ka na, ang pantakip mo, yung succeeding year project, di ba? Yung napondohan na naman. Pagtakpa na yon, mahirap nang hanapin yung ghost kasi meron talagang project. So meron kami na-encounter na 2 beses pang ginost, pangatlo, saka palang ginawa, pero na-late na, inabot na ng Habagat, inabot na rin ng Krising, Dante, at saka Emong.
Pananaw po ng mga kababayan natin, kung itong mga pondo na to hindi inilagay sa budget, ganun pa rin ang Pilipinas eh. Pero nakatipid tayo ng napakalaking pera na napunta lang sa bulsa nila. Hindi po ba? Ganun ang nangyayari.
Yes, Mr. President, but kung hindi naman natin popondohan, wala naman tayong flood control projects. Wala naman tayong mga dikes that will protect our farmers in low-lying areas. So I think the better solution is really to, put our foot down on the entire process of implementing projects. From the time a legislator proposes an insertion in the budget measure, all the way sa implementation, dapat talaga mayroong nagmo-monitor. Ang problema, nagmo-monitor dito, Mr. President, DPWH din.
Yung bang pick-up nasa DPWH?
Hindi, Mr. President. This is an implementing board of the Construction Industry Authority of the Philippines, which is under the DTI.
Kasi nagbibigay sila ng license eh. Doon sa hearing, if I'm not mistaken, the way I heard it during the last hearing, meron sila nung tinatawag na pick-up license na category. May category A.
Yeah.
No, may ganun, ano? Ano po ba ang threshold amount per project that you can bid out?
Meron pong categorization yan eh. Mayroong classification table. Ito, based on the Board Resolution number 201, series of 2017. Pick up din po nagkakategorize dito. Pag sinabi mong, general engineering, pagka A, pag sa general engineering, ang minimum net worth, yung equity, 30 million pesos. Tapos makakakuha ng credit points na 300 points. Merong hanggang sa umabot sa overall credit points. Now, do sa third stage of adjustment on allowable ranges of contract costs, yung ARCC. No, ang sinasabi rito, pagka yung medium B, ito yung A, kasi large A yung double A. Ang sinasabi, yung single largest project above 75 million up to 150 million pesos. No? And then yung allowable ranges of range of contract cost up to 300 million. Yan po yung pagka ang sinabanggit ko kanina, ang category A, contractor A. Kasi hanggang quadruple A po yan, Mr. President.
So may threshold.
Meron po.
Yun. Ngayon, Mr. President, this is based on records, ha? Yung MG Samidan Corporation's license is category A. Alright? Only. Yet, for the year 2022 to 2025, it bagged 58 flood control projects amounting to 5 billion .02.
Lampas po, Mr. President.
So is this it is definitely not within the allowed amount in category A license, ano?
Yes, Mr. President. And this is one of the questions that we should ask PICAB to clarify. Kasi paano makakakuha ng ganong kalaking kontrata kung siya ay medium B or license category A? Kasi sinasabi rito sa table, ang single largest project above 75 million up to 150 million. And allowable range of contract costs up to 300 million. Kasi kung billion, medyo lampas-lampasan siguro.
5 billion po.
Baka pang quadruple or triple A na yan, Mr. President.
5
So we
billion
should
po.
ask
Ito pa.
them.
Maganda ito, lalong sumasarap. In 2019, itong MG Samidan's paid up capital is only 250,000 pesos.
Lalo na, Mr. President.
Ano? Di ba? Come 2022, how is it possible that their financial capacity increased to undertake billions worth of projects?
I think, Mr. President, distinguished minority leader, we should attend the second hearing of the Blue Ribbon Committee and clarify po natin ito. wala po yung ating chairman ng Blue Ribbon dito, but I have a comment, if I may, Mr. President, distinguished Majority Leader. September 1 din yata yung first hearing natin ng DBCC. Baka naman pwedeng pagsalisihin natin yung petsa kasi parehong gusto nating mag-attend do sa dalawang all too important hearings. So baka naman pwede.
So yan po, no, na napanood po natin ng Senate hearing patungkol sa mga anomalya, mga ghost project ng flood control, no. So sana po may konti kayong nalaman sa ating bidyong ito. Ito kasi po ay pwede pong pang current events, no. So para updated po kayo, sana wag niyo pong kalimutan din na mag-subscribe, no, at mag-like, mag-share na rin po at mag-comment sa ating Muntin channel para sa ibang pang mga balita at update sa politika, no. So yun po, at maraming salamat po. God bless po sa inyo lahat.